Well, hello and welcome to the Art Money Success Podcast. My name's Maria Brophy, and today we're going to talk about three popular ways that scammers target artists. And you want to listen to this because some of these scams are so good, they even got me. After this video, you are going to know how to spot a scammer a little better than you do today, and you will save yourself a ton of heartache. So, listen in. So, 2 years ago, I learned the hard way. And this happened to be on Mother's Day, that sacred day for those of us who have children. And of course, I was at work because I work on the weekends. It was a Sunday. And I got an email from a guy. And actually, when I say I got an email, it was actually sent to my husband, Drew. But I go through all Drew's emails because we get a lot of inquiries for sales and licensing deals and interviews and so forth. And it's my job to go through all that. So I got this email from a guy, and it was not unusual to get an email from someone asking Drew to be on their podcast. And they also offered to pay $2,000 for Drew's time. Now, again, I guess most people don't pay to have someone on their podcast, but it's not unusual for Drew to get offered money to speak somewhere or to be at an event. So that's not that unusual. So I treated this like I do every other thing. And I respond back, yes, I'm interested. Tell me more. Can we meet by Zoom? I love having Zoom meetings. And anyway, I'm going to read to you what this scam email was that fooled me. Okay. It says, "Hi there. I am Tony Terry's manager representing an online musical concert. We would like for Drew Brophy to be on this online live event sponsored by Nike, where we can do the online podcast. It's a random discussion about music, dance, entertainment, public life, and nature. There'll be 4 or 5 other artists from different parts of the world joining us. It is a paid event. We will pay you $2,000 for each episode. Please let us know if you're available on these particular dates." So I respond back, yes, thanks for the opportunity. And then we agreed to meet on a Zoom call. Now, I thought the Zoom call, so when I get on the Zoom call, I'm thinking we're going to talk about the event, what they want Drew to talk about. Do they want him to show his art? All that. Well, the interesting thing is they didn't want to talk about the show or art at all. All they wanted to talk about was, now this is the clincher, this is where the scam is. They said to me, and this is live, by the way, I'm meeting this guy on Zoom. He's showing his face. And he asked me, "Have you done live events on Facebook before with the Drew Brophy Facebook page?" And I said, "Yes, of course we have." Drew has almost 50,000 followers on Facebook, so it's a very important page. And here's an important thing to note is that we make about $50,000 a year in sales just from his Facebook page. Okay? About 50,000 a year in sales. So, what happened was somehow this guy convinced me, and I like to think I'm pretty smart, but these people are masters, masters at getting you to do what they want you to do. They know all the right things to say, how to convince you that they're legit. And they got me to log into Drew's Facebook Meta, and then they got control of it. Now, at this point, I realized I made a terrible mistake. And I tried to shut everything down. but I couldn't. It was too late. Like I realized it the second I did it, but it was too late. They got control. I'm going to tell you what happened next. But I'm going to take a breath for a moment and I'm going to say that if you are listening to this, whatever device you're listening to this on, will you please subscribe to my channel? I would love it if you did. And if you are watching this on YouTube, if you could leave me a comment, that would make me really happy. And let me know, have you had a run in with scam artists before? So I decided to do this topic today because in my artist mastermind, I have an artist mastermind group and we meet regularly live. And this is a question that's been coming up a lot lately. The scam artists are out in huge numbers right now. They're coming out of the woodwork and there's all kinds of scams and there's all kinds of ways artists are being scammed and being targeted. And so we've been talking about this a lot in my mastermind group. And I'm going to share with you the advice that I've been given to my members. Okay. But first, let me button up this little story. So the second this guy stole the Facebook account, I couldn't do anything about it. And we were paying an advertising agency to do all our ads, and I let them know right away, and they tried to help me. They have a relationship with Facebook. It took 8 months to get our account back. And you can imagine how much money we lost in 8 months, probably about $40,000. And why would the scammers want this account? Because there's this scam where they put these bogus advertisements on and they try to charge whatever whatever credit cards you have on file with Meta through Facebook. And I was able to take down all my, shut down all my cards and everything. So they couldn't steal any money from me. But in a way, they stole money from me through lost sales. And let me just say, it ruined my Mother's Day. I was brokenhearted. I was so upset. It's such a violation when you find out you've been robbed and tricked and fooled. And I'll tell you, these scammers, they need to go to prison for the rest of their lives. They're ruining a lot of people's lives. It makes me very sad. Okay, so that's one scam. So if you ever get an email from someone that says, hey, you've been invited to be on this podcast and we pay, delete the email. Do not even engage with these people because they will trick you and they'll steal from you. So, and here's how you can confirm that it's a bogus email. Look at the email address that it came from. If it's a Gmail address, then you know it's bogus. So, like, I should have known this. So, when I look at this email, which I still have, and I'm looking at it right now, it was dated Sunday, April 16th, 2023. That was right before that was the first email I got from these people a couple weeks before they stole the account. They say they're with Tony Terry Music. Well, Tony Terry is a famous name. There is TonyTerry.com. So the email address should have, if it was legit, it should have come from so-and-so at TonyTerryMusic.com. It should never come from a Gmail account. So if that is your first clue if it's bogus or not. And I should have known better, but I didn't. I do now. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, then shame on me. But I will never be fooled again. So another scheme or scam you should know about, and this is really popular with artists, is the NFT scam. Now, I bet most of you listening have had this slide into your DMs on Instagram or Facebook or TikTok, where somebody says, I love your art. Oh, your art really speaks to me. Have you ever thought of doing an NFT with it? Almost always a scam. First, they flatter you, they get your trust, then they convince you to open up a crypto or Coinbase account, some sort of crypto type account, because you have to have that so you get paid. Now that you've opened that account, oh, while you're at it, you do have to pay these gas fees, which are real fees when you have NFTs. As soon as you put the money in there, they take it and disappear. They steal from you. And so many artists have been tricked by this. One thing you need to know about these scammers, it's not just some creepy guy in his basement in Nigeria. Okay. These scammers are highly sophisticated groups of people. They're companies. They are big companies with big call centers. Sometimes the scammers will literally be in a warehouse with like 50 other people with computers and phones. It's a big business. As a matter of fact, it's like $1 trillion business. So these are not unsophisticated people trying to steal money from you. They are taught what to say to you to flatter you, how to use psychology to get you to do what they want. They are masters of deception. It's actually quite fascinating how scammers are so good at understanding people. They are better than psychiatrists. They know what you're going to say before you say it, and they have an answer for you to twist your mind. Now, I'm going to tell you about a third scam. And the third scam is the overpayment scam. Now, I've had this happen to me, but I did not fall for it. And basically, what it is, they flatter you with how much they love your art. They want to buy these 3 pieces. Usually, it's an email or a message that says, my wife loves your art. I want to surprise her with it. So I can't pay with a credit card. Can I send you a check? And I'll send you more than you're asking for. So this is where our greed can get the best of us. But know this, if something's too good to be true, it usually is too good to be true. So here's how the scam goes. Let's say they want to buy 3 paintings and they owe you $10,000. They're going to send you a check for $12,000. You're going to take that check to your bank. You're going to cash it. Your bank doesn't know it's a fraudulent check sometimes until 3 weeks later. Now you don't know it's a fraudulent check. You cash it or you put it in your bank account. Then you either ship the paintings or they say they're sending their agent to come pick it up. And by the way, can you send the extra $2,000 that they paid directly to their agent? Well, you're like, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. You paid it. I got the money in the bank. You send them the money, and then boom, you never see them again. And then you find out from your bank that the check bounced, but you are responsible for it. So, how can you avoid these scams? First of all, be aware of all the scams out there. There's actually many more than these 3 that I mentioned. Look at where the emails or the messages are coming from. You can talk to someone on the phone. I'd say usually, if you can get somebody on the phone, you can get a good read on them. Listen to your gut. However, some of these scammers are so good that on the phone, they actually trick you even more. So, in my opinion, money talks and bullshit walks. And you find a way for them to send you money. You could send that if you use like a QuickBooks program, or you could have them Zelle you money. And that's how you know they're legit. Do not take checks through the mail unless it's someone you know. And if you do get a check in the mail, wait 3 weeks before you do anything. Make sure that check went through. So I hope this was helpful for someone out there. Nothing breaks my heart more than to see an artist get scammed. And hey, if you're interested in my Art Money Success Mastermind, where we have live meetings and we solve artist business problems and we help you sell more art, check the link, or you could just go to mariabrophy.com and you can find it there. I'd love to see you in the mastermind. Have a great day, everybody. Ciao.